Hey everyone, Josh Ozen here today with another Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about the exotic sidearm Devil's Ruin. Devil's Ruin is the second most recent exotic to be added to the game, just behind Bastion, and it's also one of the most unique. Its exotic perk states that it has a variable trigger where you can either press and release to fire individual shots, or you can hold down the trigger and fire a high-powered staggering laser. Now, the staggering part only comes into effect in PvE when you're fighting against unstoppable champions, but the laser itself is very strong in PvP as well. Now, it's similar to if a fusion rifle and a trace rifle had a baby, so think of something like 1,000 Voices, and it does share a few similarities with that. So the first thing is, you gotta kind of treat it like a fusion rifle, so it does have that charge time, so you gotta make sure to remember that when you're going into engagements with it. Secondly, its charge time is exactly the same as 1,000 Voices. It's a full 1 second. And the third thing is, its laser has almost no recoil. It's a very straightforward laser, and it doesn't have great range, which is the first negative I have with it. Now, the stats reflect that it has great range, but that only affects the sidearm portion of it. The laser, you do have to be up close to it, but the problem with that is it puts you at risk for getting one shot by something like Mindbenders or Dust Rock, whichever high impact shotgun they're using, or you can get outgunned by other fusion rifles. So to make up for that, I like to pair it with snipers so that I have the long range covered, and then that way I can go back and reload my gun. And that brings me to the next negative I have with the gun, is the reload speed. It's absolutely abysmal. So to compensate for that, I did have to pair it with the Trick Sleeves, and that works out really well. But my main issue with that is I'd really like to pair it with something like Stompies, because I have a very aggressive playstyle, and even the double sidearm loader mods are not enough to compensate for that poor reload speed. Comparing it with a sniper, it covers the long range, so this way you have the long range and the short range covered, but you could even pair it with something like a pulse rifle or a scout rifle, so that way you get the same effect, but I like to have that instant kill. But like I said, I do have an aggressive playstyle, so if you have an aggressive one as well, you may opt to pair it with something like a hand cannon, and that I found to be very effective as well. Now, onto the things I really like about this weapon is its damage is very solid. It does 51 to the head and 36 to the body in its regular sidearm form, but the laser does 36 to the head and I think it was 18 to the body, if I remember right. But even still, it absolutely melts through enemies. You just gotta remember to get up close to them. And if you can do that, it just absolutely melts them. Now, the next thing I like about it is it's very strong against supers. If you can manage to hit your headshots, it shreds through supers no matter what element they are. Through solar supers, I find it a lot easier. You don't have to hit all headshots. You can hit a few body shots here and there. But because it's solar, it does a lot more damage to solar supers. And lastly, the thing I like about it is the sidearm playstyle I find very fun. Even though I do play with this more like a fusion rifle than I do a sidearm, when I'm running around with it in just its normal sidearm mode, it's very strong. Its inner accuracy isn't bad, but you really shouldn't use the laser in the air, because when you land, it can really mess you up a little bit. But one of the things I don't like about this gun is, first of all, its quest was honestly a joke. It was one mission, and you got some voice lines from Shax and Saint 14. You didn't even have to shoot anything. It was just a little scavenger hunt. But that's neither here nor there. It was still a little mission nonetheless. It was fun. I like the voice lines from that, but I just wish they'd make these quests longer. Like, put a little more investment into it. Get some more throughout the quest, something like that. But next is because the charge time is so long, you can get shotgun real easy, or you can get fusion real easy, and I know I said that before, but it's happened so often, and that's not because I'm not playing cover right. Even when I'm playing cover right, they can just jump above me and get the headshot, because with a sidearm, you do have to remember, you don't have all that damage in one full shot, so you gotta keep pressing the trigger, or keep holding down the trigger, and you gotta remember to get the spacing right. And the last thing, which is not a negative, is I've had a lot of fun with this gun. And even though it may look bad to a lot of people, I still find it to be fun. Now, it does have similar shutdown potential to Bastion, which I really like, so that's one reason I have a lot of fun with it. And a lot of people just don't expect you to be using a sidearm. So even if you are using this gun and using the sidearm mode, they think, oh, I can just approach him with my shotgun and get the shot off because he's going to be charging up the laser, right? But because of the alternate firing modes, it does catch a lot of people off guard. So that's something really nice about it. And yeah, that's about it. That's my thoughts on the gun, and I hope you enjoy it.
You're knocked out. Not this time. You've been defeated. It's dead even. Which of you will survive? Three lives left. Out. Thirty seconds remaining. The enemy leads. Catch up and crush them. No lives left for your enemy. Destroy them. One opponent remains. Minute left. The enemy is out of second chances. Opposing team annihilated. It's dead even. Which of you will survive? Only 1 minute left. I love it. Neither team has lives left. Show no mercy. You've been knocked out. Your enemies have bested you. This time. Enemy has match point. Show them how little you care. Hunters like you blaze a path for the rest of us. One enemy left. 1 minute left. The enemy is out of second chances. Match point, and it's time. This is it. On your side. 1 minute. Got 30 seconds. Been knocked out. Allies down. Lives extinguished.